always great to see you. I'm so glad we had a chance to see each other. People may not realize, but or they follow both of us that we were posting pictures. We were at do we call it a charity event? What do you think?
Um, was it a charity? Because at the event, you don't really, maybe let's say a community event.
Community event, yeah, for a particular hospital that we were judges for these amazing young people who are performing
Mhm.
for us. And you've done this now. I'm a 10-year vet, but you've done this now for 3 years, I do believe.
3 or 4, maybe it's
Mhm.
3,
3 or 4,
something like that. But yeah, the
something like
last
that.
one that we did was their 10th, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, how does it feel being part of something like that, especially because of what this facility does in helping these young people in their mental and physical developments? And
It's
and I should add, through music.
exactly. So I may have spoken about this in the past, but I when I just got out of high school, I started down a path towards music therapy. I took psych for a couple years and I was headed towards a musical therapy degree because I've seen what, I mean, we've all seen, we have access to the internet, but if you haven't, do check out what music specifically can do in terms of not only rehabilitating the brain, but also unlocking speech and expression and emotion and this and that in everyone and anyone, but especially people that maybe, some people are nonverbal, some people even to a different extent, some people who stutter end up not stuttering when they do music. It's just a different, there's something so magical about it. And even though I was going down a scientific route towards it, or like a clinical degree, there's just something that cannot be explained about what music does to us and for us. And so being there with all the music therapists and like seeing essentially what my life could have been like. It might end up being again, yeah, you never know. It's just so beautiful to know that either way I was going to end up experiencing what that I'm getting goosebumps right now. What that does, whether or not I was the therapist or the artist and the musician. But also on a personal note, one of my best friends, her brother used to go to that hospital. So I've also seen what they do in real life as well. So it's beyond words. So
Now you mentioned Goosebumps. Goosebumps is what I got when I saw your socials during Pride. And no disrespect to any of the other acts because everybody was great performing during Pride. I think
mm,
you and Kaiser were probably the biggest during that time because the way you guys interacted and the crowds, like it was amazing. How did you feel about being there and putting on such an amazing show?
first of all, we have to start with Priyanka giving me that opportunity in the first place. Um, we we met in the grand scheme of things, it's very recent that our relationship started to build. But we met because we have the same vocal coach, we have the same producer, and so our paths were going to cross anyway because everyone was saying like, no, no, you guys, your spirits are the same. Like you are, what is it called?
Was
Not
it Twin Candles
twin flames.
or
Thank you so much.
Twin Flames? That's it.
Me holding my crystals, but I don't know how to say twin flame. Twin flame. And so we ended up like getting together right after the Junos actually, for a session and for her, for Priyanka. Um, and then at the end, we were all kind of like listening to little snippets of what we've done, and I was really excited about this song called Fussy. Um, and she heard it and she was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." A couple days later, we're texting, we're like, "What is there a world where we do this? Like, is there a world where it's a collab?" And I've always wanted to do a collab with someone because I love doing music with other people. But B, the fact that she expressed interest in wanting to be on it, I was like, literally, absolutely. Like, no one fits the vibe of Fussy better than you. So that's incredible. Um, And then she was asking me, okay, well, when does the EP come out? When is everything happening? I said, well, it's June 27th is when everything comes out. She's like, oh, what are you doing June 27th? I was like, vibing and like releasing. I don't know. She's like, okay, well, actually, you're going to perform at Pride with me, and we're going to do Fussy, and we're going to do it on during my set. As if that's not enough. I mean, Rudy, you know enough artists and enough creatives to know. I don't know if it's ego is not maybe the right term here, but certainly there's an ownership of your stage when it's your set, when it's especially when it's not your headlining show. Like there is something even more precious about I have half an hour to show these people what I can do. She not only put Fussy in the set while we were rehearsing, she was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to get off the stage. You're going to come on, I'm going to introduce you, and then I'm going to get off the stage, and your name is going to be behind you, and Fussy and our picture and whatever, and I'm only going to come back when it's my verse. I said, that's insane. Nobody does that. Like, again, I'm getting goosebumps because it's just such a testament. I cannot give her her flowers enough. It's such a testament to who she is and how she uses her platform to uplift others. Um, But because she gave me that, it was just so incredible. She like got the crowd to chant Fussy right before. So once I got on, everyone was already singing it. It was incredible, like especially in that to release a song like Fussy in that environment where everyone is so full of love and acceptance and expression and that's all that Fussy is about. So it couldn't have gotten a better platform to launch on, I'll say.
I love that. And you are right. I mean, the way the business is with professional egos,
Yeah.
it can
And we're none of us are immune, by the way.
no.
But
We have to, I always say this. If you don't want to be in this business, or I should say it this way, if you plan on succeeding in this business, you need an ego. It's just the way you use that ego that
100%.
makes the difference. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk about this new single. Um,
Hmm.
what was the inspiration behind it? And I gotta ask honestly, is this a play on word? Because if you don't say it clearly, it could sound like something else, like what OPP is all about.
Do you mean starting with the P?
Yes.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, every time, can I swear here? Is that a
Yeah, of
swear word?
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every time, even though it's my song, every time
Hmm.
I see it written, if I glance at it really quickly, I'm reading pussy the whole time. So, but it's also the vibe, the energy is that. So I don't know if it's like a Freudian slip, but like a happy little universal accident, which is never nothing's an accident.
Hmm.
Um, so I wrote the song in LA with, what's so funny, Rudy? I think it was the day that you and I had our last interview. You interviewed me while I was in LA in the Warner Chapel studio.
Yes. Yes, I remember that.
I
Absolutely.
think it may have been the same day.
Wow.
So that's so funny. What a full circle. Um, so I wrote it with two people. The producer's name is he's also a writer, Finnessy. Um, and Kella Armitage. She goes by Kella. So Finnessy and Kella are their artist names. Um, and originally, like the session was meant to be for me. And but then all of us are K-pop writers, as you may know. So we're like, okay, well, let's maybe write something kind of geared there, but also, let's see what happens. And so we ended up writing Fussy. And initially, I was like, oh, this is probably has like a little bit more attitude than maybe what I would do. Da 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 da. As artists, we always like question and everything. So I kind of tucked it away for a second. I'm like, okay, well, it kind of sounds like it could be for this person too. So let's try this and that. And then it came time to putting together the songs on the EP. And my manager and I, Tommy, he says hello, by the way. Um, we're like 99% of the time we're on the same page, always, even if we don't know it. I was like walking around Loblaws or something, and I was like going over the songs that we wrote in LA, and I'm like, oh, Fussy, that's such a fun song. Like, I wonder if there's a world, da da da. And then maybe that night or the day after, I was on a call with Tommy and we're like picking the song. He's like, kind of crazy, but like, what do you remember that song Fussy that you wrote? And I was like, yeah, I do. And it's funny that you should say that because the vibes are correct, especially for this EP. And then the rest was history. Like, ended up taking it to my producer, Tampa, who's incredible. Um, he did the whole EP. Did you do the whole EP? Yes, he did. Um, and yeah, it was just serendipitous maybe, but
Hmm.
the whole heart of the song and of the EP is just the way I detest the word unapologetic, but it is what it is. Um, just not shrinking and not being shy to ask for things, like especially as a woman, especially as a woman in the industry. We can tend to shrink away from certain things or not speak as loudly or for fear of, and not just fear of, but sometimes you get labeled too demanding, too this, too outspoken, da 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 da. God forbid you ask for something. So it's just a really, really fun expression of, yeah, I'm going to get what I want and like, haha, so cute. Um, but I do bite, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get what I want. And if I don't, you're gonna hear about it. Tee. So it's incredible. And I wanted to pull up her name because I knew I was gonna forget. There's a she's an author now. I think she started off as an influencer, Florence Given. She was posting. I don't know if you've seen her. She has bright pink hair. All her clothes are pink. You may have come across, but she posted this video where I actually reposted it on my story. And to quote, she says, "Your life will change when you realize it doesn't make you a good person to want less or to eat a slice of humble crumble." Um, and I just thought, yeah, exactly. You're not better in any capacity just because you decide to humble yourself and not ask for what you need and like be content with whatever you're served. That doesn't make you a good person. Because that's I think how sometimes we soothe ourselves. It's like, no, 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 I'm humble, I'm quiet, I don't need to make a fuss right now. Da, 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 da. That doesn't feel good in the long run, even subconsciously. So I think that really spoke to me as a quote. And that is essentially Fussy. It's that the single and the EP. Express what you need to express and don't ever apologize for it. Unless
Yeah,
you're, don't hurt other people.
no, no, of
But,
course not. And the name of the EP is.
also fussy.
Okay, just want to make sure we got that down and everybody knows that too. You know, the one thing I have noticed, two
Mm,
things. Number one, and I think I mentioned this to you maybe two or three interviews ago, you're losing your accent.
I know. It comes out only now when I'm angry and when I'm drinking.
The
Yeah.
other thing I've noticed is, do you have a lot of conversations with yourself?
I'm very reflective, I'll
Hmm.
say. And I've recently started to journal. Um, I don't think I talk to myself a lot, but my God, I think a lot and I overthink. And I thankfully have friends and family and an amazing partner who I can forever. And they just listen and they absorb and they reflect with me and they give me good outlooks. But I'm a talker. That's how I
That's
process.
that's a good thing. 2025, the rest of the summer, fall, and winter. What's going on with you?
Um, we are planning on, well, it's already happening, but there will be a visual to accompany Miss Fussy,
Hmm.
the single. So that's coming very, very soon. Um, I am already, already ready for more writing. So I'm getting in the end of the month. I'm doing that. Couple shows, finalizing, one around Christmas, but I don't know about that yet.
Hmm.
So yeah, essentially more writing, more visuals, more songs, and shows. I'm hoping to tour the EP, so we'll see what happens with that.
Fingers are crossed. Neva, thank you so much for the interview. It was great seeing you about a month ago. It's great to see what happened with you at Pride. It's great that you have this song. I love this whole new version of yourself because remember when I met you, you were Purple Rain right down to the core.
Yeah,
And now look at you. It's almost like whatever was inside is finally blossoming out. And I love seeing that.
I
It's
very much
amazing.
feel that. I very thank you for saying that. I'm glad that it comes across because I absolutely feel that way too. This EP is so, it is just the closest I've ever been. And it's exactly what I would like to put out into the world. So I'm very happy about that.
Love you. Talk to you soon.
Love you dearly. Thank you for having me.